we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Washington Commanders. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. This drive will begin with a run from A-Chain. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. You talk about this Washington defense. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, they want to move up. In order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments in order to go to better.
This defense for the Commanders, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Levis now off of play action. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Here's 2nd and 10. Levis out of the shotgun now. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 33. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Option handoff now to A-Chain. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And not many guys who can blow up plays like Chase Young. He did it again there.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
They set up the screen to A-Chain. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area, but they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
An audible here to get a new look. They run for it. A-Chain. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through...
That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Able to push his way through. And he'll have good field position here as he's out of bounds up at about the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Brissett. That's out to the flat for Gibson. Only able to gain a couple there, and that will bring up 2nd down. Straight ahead, Gibson. Shrugs the tackle. Nice. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
They'll run with Gibson. Fights loose. There he goes, left side. And they will finally haul him down at the Dolphins' 24. 40 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ball game. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd and 9. They'll try to throw now. Brissett. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Marquise Bell. And the Dolphins force the turnover. And they'll take over at the 10. Here's A-Chain to begin the drive. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Right back to A-Chain on 2nd down. And fights through one man. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more.
Levis in trouble. Down he goes. Chase Young in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Here's Levis. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good ride on that. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
And that is not what you expect from a receiver of his caliber. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself. You don't look it in, and all of a sudden it's on the ground. A surprise to all.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll let this go deep for Waddle. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
From the 46, here's the 2nd and 5. A give up the middle to Gibson. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 54 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
They try and run on 1st down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack. And I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one. But occasionally, the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly. Maybe someone tipped it off. But on that play, it had no chance.
A 2nd down throw for Brissett. Incomplete. With that matchup, the adjustment that was made, you have a blazing guy on a blazing guy, and defensively, he won that battle.
The closing speed is the key. When you have a guy that fast and he can close at the end of a play and knock it away, that's a big deal, and we just saw him do it right there.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Brissett now. Well, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this will stay at a 7-point game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A first down there on a pickup of 25. A give left side. Here's H.A. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
First down, they go back to H.A. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon Achane with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Dolphins go up by 2 touchdowns. Sanders now to add the extra point. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. And that flag accepted. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped it to 14.
At their own 14-yard line.
Get up already.
Guys, you're embarrassing us.
Son más malos que el veneno. 19. Okay. Defense is a rabbit.
A first down throw for Brissett. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now a 2nd and 10. Brissett sets to throw it. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big 3rd down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
On 3rd down, Brissett. Flushed out right. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. He got out of the pocket there, was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling, his receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception. To see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
On 2nd down, a run by H.A. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
And that's what I like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. A give up the middle to H.A. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 76 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
We really didn't have any doubt that he was going to be one of the top-rated rookies coming into the league, especially as a runner. And he's given us no reason to change our minds. That's a big-time run, and the production that he showed us in college is translating very well into the National Football League.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more on that one and another first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2000.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill from 8 yards out. And the Dolphins take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 21-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. Pushing his way through. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble to bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense is sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
Now Brissett. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
A throw over the middle taken in. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 32-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Throwing, Brissett. Buying time to his left. Going to be caught downfield by Dotson. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up first and goal.
They'll run with Robinson. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Brian Robinson Jr. with his 4th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Commanders are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, this has not been the greatest of first halves to this point. They've been pretty well dominated in all phases of the game, so this was an important drive just to show they can move the football and finish. And now they're on the board here on the touchdown run.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Levis looking to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
And this drive was almost over before it began. Thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And here's Levis now on 3rd and long. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
It'd be interesting to see what he decides to do the next time he's in the position we just saw there. Outside of the pocket, takes a throw downfield, it turns up incomplete. I wonder if next time he might take off and run.
2nd and 10.
Kill.
Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Brissett. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. It's a 1st down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Brissett to throw on 1st. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
Offense was moving them a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Brissett. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Cam Smith. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line.
Washington will take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Now they're down on the scoreboard, sort of a sloppy first half. Coach Davis, if you were in the locker room, what would the message have been?
I think I'd have to go with something you don't ordinarily go with in the NFL. That's a little fire and brimstone. You've got to fire these guys up, make them understand what's going on out there. They were so sloppy in the first half, too many turnovers. Tighten things up, maybe get in their face a little bit, get in their grill, and then send them back out.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Here's Brissett. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On third down, here's Gibson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. An even 100 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
First down, Brissett. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
On second down, a run with Gibson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
On first and 10, Brissett. Left sideline, a dime, and it looks like he's got it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Gibson here running out of the gun. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Here's a 2nd and 8. And McLaurin, the motion man right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Hey, kill. Rabbit.
Brissett. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Cam Smith. And the Dolphins are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
A-Chain on 1st and 10. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Right back to A-Chain on 2nd down. Now inside the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devon A-Chain with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Sanders on for the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7.
Makes the score Dolphins 28, Commanders 7. Jake Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Now a throw here to his running back, and he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Dolphin football. 1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They're just looking to do more of the same. They were good in the first half. They've extended their lead so far here in the second half. They're just looking good on hitting on all cylinders right now.
And sometimes that means a head coach who really has a finger on the pulse of the team may not have anything to say at all. May tell the rest of the coaches,
up a little bit.
Just back it off a little bit. This team has it under control. I remember hearing about Bob Knight years ago in basketball, getting ready to give the final speech before the gold medal game in '84. And on the board, Michael Jordan had written, "Coach, after all we've been through, there's no way we're losing tonight." He didn't even give a pregame speech.
Wow, interesting. Well, right now, no speech is needed.
1st down, Dolphins.
Play action now. Levis rolling to his right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Montez Sweat. What persistence, and that persistence pays off. Tracks him down for a 19-yard loss. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Back to throw, it's Levis. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one.
but you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Levis. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Montez Sweat picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And that's his 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And partner, it's still just the 3rd quarter.
Back now at FedEx Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Levis's throw caught by Higgins. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Levis to throw off play action. Touchdown! Jalen Waddle, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Brissett on 1st down. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
To throw, Brissett. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Running left, it's A-Chain. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue?
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon A-Chain, a 16-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. So another rushing touchdown for him this year. Boy, he's found the end zone quite a bit so far. Charles, that now an even 20 scores on the season.
And you know how often we use the term, probably I overuse the term, imposing their will? Well, these defenses have become really powerless to stop him. That's what we've seen from him and his team this year. You know he's getting the ball down here in the red zone, but he's just got that strength of will himself, and he's used it to great effect.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. Pushes him aside at the 10. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth-quarter hole. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
A gain of 17 yards.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Brissett now. That's going to be caught downfield by McLaurin. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They'll get 34 yards there.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A handoff for Gibson. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
And McLaurin, the motion man right. Gibson will score. Touchdown, Commanders. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Commanders 14.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Braxton Berrios now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
The tackle made
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Inside the 10, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. When you talk about the dominating rushing performances that you and I have seen together, this has got to be right up there. His 4th touchdown run of the game and another long one to boot.
And I don't need to ask for a witness because you're right here with me. We are watching this, and we're watching such a performance that it's demoralizing for anyone on defense. You know, it starts out coaches screaming, tackle him, get him. And after that last touchdown, I bet it's pure silence on that side of the ball.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled.
That's good for a Commanders first down.
Play action now. Brissett winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
And the Dolphins first down.
They'll pitch it out to A-Chain. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays, really hurts the team on defense.
7 yards there and a first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
A-Chain here. They stay on the ground. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So now after the face mask penalty, here's 1st and goal. Running right, here's A-Chain. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. But now he appears to be in some pain. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Second and goal from inside the 5. That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. 3rd and goal. Here's Levis. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter. And the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Commanders take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Flush to his right. His throw incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
The Commanders going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Brissett again. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was the big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Eluding the pressure right. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, I can't.
Never leave the house without the pack. Where my at? Take an L and try to double back. We ain't doing that. Say she mad, but I know it's cap. I've been through with that. Need someone to hype me up. Hype me up. Need someone to hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me up. Need someone to hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me up. Need someone to hype me up. 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 I ain't got it, but they hands to the ceiling. I ain't palm reading, but I got 'em in they feelings, yeah. vanilla ice, but I'm iced out chillin'. What's the good?